We live in an age of noise. Our entire civilization is built on the worship of being seen. We are told from every corner to be loud, to network, to build a brand, to post, to share, to connect. We have come to believe that our value is measured by our visibility. We are terrified of being invisible, of being forgotten, of being left behind. But what if this terror is misguided? What if the most powerful, the most profound, the most transformative move you can make is not to lean in, but to disappear? If you have ever felt this deep, quiet, persistent pull to just vanish, to turn off your phone, to stop talking, to retreat from the endless demands of the world. If you have ever felt the urge to go silent, this is not a sign that you are broken. It is not depression. It is not antisocial. It is a sign of wisdom. It is your soul or your deep mind telling you that you are ready for the next stage of your evolution. It is telling you that it is time to grow. There is a curious phenomenon happening in the world. The people who are doing the deepest work, the ones who are truly healing, growing and becoming, are not the ones making the most noise. They are the ones who are quietly pulling away. They are not doing it out of anger or fear or bitterness. They are doing it as a conscious, strategic, and necessary choice. This is the path of the sage, the path of strategic withdrawal. Now, the conditioned mind, the social mind, immediately objects. It screams, "Is this not running away? Is this not abandoning my responsibilities? Is it not selfish to just leave everyone behind?" This is the great misunderstanding. We are not talking about a bitter, angry exit, slamming the door on the world. We are not talking about a permanent escape into a cave, abandoning those who truly depend on us. We are talking about an intentional retreat, a sacred and necessary fallow period. A farmer knows you cannot plant the same field every single season, year after year. To do so depletes the soil, and the harvest grows weaker and weaker until it is dust. The farmer must let the field lie fallow. He must let it rest. He must let it go dark, so the nutrients can return. You are that field. A seed cannot grow if it is being tossed around in the wind, in the light. It must be buried. It must be planted in the dark, silent, solitary earth before it can sprout. This disappearance is your burial. It is the sacred darkness. It is the prerequisite for your rebirth. So, how do you know when it is time? How do you distinguish this wise pull from the voice of mere fatigue or fear? The sage, the wise mind, recognizes specific signals. These are the 7 signs that it is time for you to silently disappear. The first sign, you have become an echo. You find yourself in conversations, and the words coming out of your mouth are not yours. They are echoes. They are opinions you heard on a podcast. They are headlines you read. They are the carefully curated beliefs of your social circle. You are agreeable. You are informed. But you are not you. The behavior is that you have stopped thinking and have started repeating. The psychology is simple. Your input has massively exceeded your integration. You have consumed so much noise from the world, so many books, videos, opinions, and content that you can no longer hear the quiet, original signal of your own intuition. The danger is that you are no longer a person. You are a playlist. You are a container for other people's ideas. When you feel this, it is time to disappear. The silence is not about escaping the world. It is about finding yourself again. It is an act of starvation. You must starve the echo so that your own voice has no choice but to finally speak. The second sign, your compassion has become exhaustion. You are the helper. You are the strong one. Everyone comes to you with their problems, their dramas, their crises. And you, being a good person, you listen. You advise. You absorb. But lately, when you see your phone ring, you feel a sense of dread, not duty. When someone begins to tell you their problems, you feel a deep, bone-deep exhaustion. You feel drained, empty, and perhaps even resentful. The behavior is that you are giving from a place of deficit. The psychology is that you have confused being kind with being endlessly available. Your empathy, which is a finite and precious resource, has been completely depleted. You are running on fumes. The consequence is that this is no longer compassion, it is burnout. And from a place of burnout, you cannot truly help anyone. Your help is now tainted with resentment and fatigue. The sage knows you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you feel this, it is time to disappear. This is not an act of selfishness. It is the essential, responsible act of refilling your cup. It is the only way you can ever give truly and cleanly again. The third sign, your success feels hollow. You have achieved the things you were told to want. You got the promotion. You bought the house. You are in the relationship. You have checked all the boxes. And in the moment of victory, you feel nothing. Or worse, you feel a quiet, terrifying emptiness. The applause sounds distant. The achievement feels like a costume. The behavior is that you are on a hedonic treadmill. You are chasing the next goal and the next, believing that this time it will finally make you feel whole. But it never does. The psychology is that you have been climbing a ladder that is leaning against the wrong wall. You have been chasing goals set for you by society, by your parents, by your ego, but not by your soul. The consequence is a life of quiet desperation. You are a success to the world, but a failure to yourself. When you feel this profound hollowness in the face of success, it is a critical signal. It is time to disappear. You must go silent, not to abandon your life, but to reevaluate it. You must go into the quiet, away from the world's definitions of success, and ask yourself for the first time what you truly want, what actually matters. This retreat is an act of course correction. The fourth sign, you are constantly irritable and reactive. Small things set you off. A slow driver, a forgotten item at the grocery store, a simple question from a loved one. You are living with a short fuse. You feel a constant, low-grade agitation. The behavior is that you are lashing out, or you are retreating into a shell of passive aggression. You are not at peace. The psychology is that your nervous system is overloaded. You are in a state of chronic fight or flight. Your brain has received too much stimulus, too much news, too much drama, too much caffeine, too much everything. You have no margin left. Your cup is not just full, it is overflowing, and the overflow is scalding everyone around you. The danger is that you will mistake this symptom, irritability, for your personality. You will start to believe, I am just an angry person. You are not. You are an overstimulated person. The sage knows that a mind in a state of agitation cannot make wise decisions. When you feel this, it is time to disappear. This is a biological necessity. You must retreat to a place of less noise, less news, less drama. You must let your nervous system come down from its chronic state of alarm. This is not a luxury. This is an act of mental sanitation. The fifth sign, you no longer recognize the person in the mirror. This is a profound and disturbing feeling. You look at your own reflection, and the person looking back seems like a stranger, or worse, a performer. You have played so many roles: the diligent employee, the supportive friend, the good partner, the responsible child, that you have forgotten who you are when the curtain falls. The behavior is a kind of deep internal dissociation. You are going through the motions of your own life. You are acting as yourself rather than being yourself. The psychology is that you have given away your identity, piece by piece, in exchange for approval. To please your boss, you gave away your creativity. To please your friends, you gave away your true opinions. To please your partner, you gave away your non-negotiable needs. And now, there is almost nothing left. The consequence is the most terrifying loneliness of all, to be a stranger to yourself. When you feel this, it is imperative that you disappear. You must go away, to a place where no one is asking you to be anything. You must sit in the silence, with no roles to play, and wait for the real you to slowly, cautiously emerge from hiding. This is an act of reclamation. The sixth sign, you are seeking meaning in all the wrong places. You find yourself endlessly scrolling, looking for something. You don't know what. A quote, an idea, a video that will fix you. You are buying things you don't need, hoping for a flicker of joy. You are seeking deeper connection through shallow means. The behavior is a frantic external search for an internal solution. The psychology is that your soul is, quite literally, starving. It is starving for meaning, for purpose, for silence. And you are trying to feed it fast food, cheap dopamine hits, shallow entertainment, and the noise of the crowd. The danger is that you will fall for a false prophet. You will give your power away to a guru, a movement, or an ideology that promises you the meaning you crave, but which only wants to use you. The sage knows that meaning is never found out there. It is not a thing you can consume. It is a thing you must uncover. When you feel this frantic external search, it is time to disappear. You must stop consuming. You must stop looking out. You must go in. You must sit in the silence with your own emptiness until the hunger for distraction fades and the first whispers of your own true purpose begin to emerge from the quiet. And the seventh sign, you are about to make a major life decision. You are at a crossroads, a new job offer, the end of a relationship, a move to a new city. Your life is poised on the brink of a massive change, and everyone has an opinion. Your friends, your family, your colleagues, the internet, they are all projecting their own fears, their own hopes, and their own judgments onto your decision. You can't leave that job. It's too secure. You must leave him. You deserve better. Don't move there. It's too expensive. The behavior is that you are polling the audience, trying to find the right answer in the noise of their voices. The psychology is that you are looking for consensus to relieve you of the terrifying responsibility of the choice. You are afraid to trust yourself. The consequence is that you will make a committee decision, a decision that is a compromise of everyone else's fears and which satisfies no one, least of all you. You will be living their life, not yours. The sage knows that the most important decisions in life must be made in absolute silence. When you are at this crossroads, it is your duty to disappear. You must politely but firmly unplug from the noise. You must go to a place where the only voice you can hear is your own. You owe it to your future self to make this choice from a place of your deepest truth, not from the echo chamber of the crowd. So, you feel these signs. You feel the pull. You know it is time. How do you do it? How do you disappear in a world that refuses to let you go? This is not a dramatic exit. You do not announce it. In fact, the announcement itself is an act of noise. It is just another performance, another plea for attention. Look at me, I am disappearing. No, the sage's retreat is silent. You do not ghost people. That is an act of aggression. You simply become less available. You begin to practice what the mystics call non-action. You stop being the first to reply. You let your phone die, and you do not immediately rush to charge it. You say no more often. Not an angry no, but a calm, quiet, non-negotiable. No, I'm sorry. I don't have the energy for that right now. I won't be able to make it. You do not need to give a long-winded defensive explanation. Your reasons are your own. You curate your inputs. You unfollow the accounts that make you agitated. You turn off the news. You stop consuming the noise. You start scheduling nothing into your calendar. And you protect that nothing as fiercely as you would protect a meeting with your most important client. Because it is the most important meeting. It is the meeting with yourself. This is the practical side of disappearing. You are creating a buffer of silence around yourself. And in that buffer, in that sacred quiet, the real work begins. What do you do in this silence? Nothing. And everything. You do not disappear just to binge watch a new series. That is just replacing one noise with another. You disappear to be. You walk in nature without headphones. You listen to the sound of your own footsteps. You sit in a room and just sit. You watch the dust motes dance in the light. You write. You get a pen and a simple piece of paper, and you ask yourself questions. What am I times tired of? What do I really want? Who am I when no one is watching? And you let yourself answer, uncensored. You listen. You listen to the rumble of the refrigerator. You listen to the blood pumping in your ears. You listen to the quiet, tiny voice inside you that has been drowned out for years. At first, this silence will be terrifying. Your mind, addicted to the noise, will scream. It will call you lazy. It will call you selfish. It will invent 1,000 urgent tasks you must do. Your ego will panic. If I am not busy, if I am not seen, do I even exist? This is the withdrawal. This is the detoxification. Your job is to simply sit through it, to not scratch the itch, to let the addicted mind scream until it is hoarse, and finally falls quiet, and in the quiet that follows, that is where you find yourself. That is where the soil is replenished. That is where the echoes die, and the voice is born. That is where the irritation fades, and the deep, unshakable calm begins to set in. This process of disappearing is not a one-time event. It is a rhythm. It is a new way of living. It is the way of the sage, who understands that to be effective in the world, you must periodically retreat from the world. You do not retreat to escape life. You retreat to find life. You go into the silent darkness, not to die, but to be reborn. You go in as a depleted, hollow, agitated echo, and you emerge. You emerge as you. You emerge replenished. You emerge centered. You emerge with a clarity and a power that is so quiet and yet so profound that it needs no announcement. The world will feel the change in you. Your no will have weight. Your yes will have power. Your presence will have a stillness that is more compelling than any loud opinion. You will have disappeared from the crowd, only to find that you have finally arrived for yourself. You will have let go of the need to be seen, only to discover that you can finally see. This is the great paradox of the spiritual path. You must be willing to lose yourself to find yourself. You must be willing to become invisible to the world, to become visible to your own soul. So ask yourself, are you just tired, or is your soul calling for a sacred retreat? Are you just running, or are you being wisely called into the dark, fertile soil of your own becoming? Do not be afraid of the silence. Do not be afraid of the disappearing. It is not an end. It is the beginning.